Welcome back to Insight Indonesia, brought to you by the Jakarta Globe. Today we're with spiritual activist Anand Krishna. Anand, in this segment, why don't we talk a little bit by, tell me concretely, when someone begins to change their path and think about living more meditatively, more in harmony. First of all, how do you do that? And how does that manifest itself in someone's life?
Well, I firmly believe that we have to be at peace with ourselves first. And when we are talking about peace, we are talking about inner satisfaction. We are talking about sealing on desires. We are not, you cannot be satisfied if you don't put some kind of ceiling. Okay, enough is enough, you know. You make money, okay, enough is enough. How much money can you make? And after some time, the more money you make is not making you more happy. There has been a survey, you know, there are so many surveys by leading newspapers and all that. After a certain point, you're not increasing your happiness.
Well, and frequently they have these surveys of what are the happiest places in the world, and they find places like the Philippines is always rated very happy.
Right.
But poor.
But you ask about from the Filipinos, they're not feeling happy.
They don't think they're happy, but you ask the question the right way, and they're kind of happy if they have enough. But there's a lot of those surveys don't, you would think they would equate with, so Switzerland should be the happiest place on earth, or Japan.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not,
Yeah.
So it's the inner happiness. And I think this is what we require in the West. For instance, meditation is in a big way, you know, because people are looking for inner happiness. And in our society, in the Southeast Asian society mostly, or South Asian, we still have to make some money. You know, we still have to make some money. So meditation here has to be dynamic meditation. Meditation in the West has to be very subtle. You can have a Zen kind of meditation, you know, just concentrate on breathing and focus on breathing. But what meditation we are giving here, the techniques we are giving here are dynamic. How to make people more dynamic to work.
To make them more dynamic.
Yes.
So a meditation that gets you up and moving.
Exactly. And
no kidding. Now, how do you do that? I've got a whole list of people that have worked for me. I want to. Now you're onto something.
We could give you some techniques here. What we do is actually to bring about the creativity, productivity, efficiency. These are lacking in our society. I cannot tell them to sit down like I would tell the Westerner to sit down and focus on your breathing. It makes them more lazy.
They say, that's a good job. If I could do that for a living, it'd be great. So you can actually use meditation to help people think. The way I think of it is to think in terms of problem solving, think laterally about a situation. Now, how does meditation, this kind of meditation, help you do that?
Well, it brings about the inner harmony, inner balance. So when we see outside the world, you know, everything, every element, every single element is busy. But we are lazy. So we are not in line. We are not attuned with the elements outside. The sun is shining all day, and the moon is shining at the same time during its time, and planets are on their orbit, you know. But we become lazy, so we are not in line. We are not attuned with alam semesta, with existence.
Oh, how interesting. So it's not just a matter, because we do as a Westerner, I always think, well, when you say meditation, that means slow down.
You need that. In the Western society, you need that sometime. You need that because you have been working all your life. You may need that. You may need that. Yes, you may need that. So we have developed something like 300 techniques to suit different temperament, different situations.
Now, how do people actually learn those techniques? Where do they go to your center? They take courses?
Yes, they take courses, and I always say that our meditation is in the framework of self-empowerment. So I consider myself a success if they don't come to me again and again. They stop coming to me and they do it on their own at home.
And how long a process is it? How long, like a course with the meditation center is
well, in our place it runs for eight sessions during 8 weeks, because we would like them to go home and practice also before coming again. But in a situation for in-house training or so, we give them as a crash program in 2 days. In 2 days, and we have been giving a lot of crash programs. So People.
Interesting. And are there corporate applications to this? Do companies
Yes.
come to you and
Yes, some of them. Yes.
and do some training?
Yes.
How interesting. Because one of the things that I want to go back to something else
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
which is, when is enough enough? This is one of the things that bedevils me sometimes about, again, I'm focused on, as a journalist, I focus on these corruption cases.
Yeah.
You see, I can almost understand somebody's stealing, say,
Right.
a modest amount of money and stopping.
Yeah.
But the amounts that get involved are hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It boggles the mind, if the
Exactly.
prosecutors are to be believed, that someone would need to do theft on that scale.
Yes, yes. Well, this is the thing, because they don't have the inner peace. So they are always, greed is happening. Greed takes place because I'm not at peace with myself. And at the end of the day, this is creating a lot of money laundering, actually. I've been in business myself. I was in government business, and I was doing most of my business in the U.S. So, all the money laundering is coming because of that.
Sure,
But a lot of people, they die, and they don't know how much money is left. The family doesn't know. The family doesn't know.
Well, after a while, if you get that much money,
Yes.
it becomes a physical problem just to
Right.
deal with it. How do you get rid of
Exactly.
it?
Of course, there are people like Bill Gates, for instance. He has got philanthropy, and
Sure.
those things are good. Those things are commendable. But not many of Indonesians are doing that. Well, I went to the National University of Singapore, and I saw Indonesian board there, contributed by Indonesian, Mokhtar Yadi.
Yes.
I was very much proud of it,
Yes.
But those things should happen. If those things are happening, then money is good.
Yeah.
Then money is good.
Well, there hasn't yet happened in most of Asia the kind of philanthropic revolution that occurred in the West, where it's seen that at the end of your life you have enough, and then you start giving it away, the way Gates is doing, the way that George Soros does, the way that Warren Buffett does.
I wrote a lot about Andrew Carnegie,
Yes,
the
of
U.S.
course.
steelman, and I'm a great admirer of him.
He was a horrible man, and then he had some moment of enlightenment and built libraries and universities with his wealth, and
And it's
really,
still there.
And it's still there.
You can find the building in Manhattan.
Yeah, they're
I was impressed.
absolutely
Yes,
fantastic.
yes, yes.
We're going to take a break there. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit
Okay.
about the journey that Anand Krishna was on to get to where he is today. You're watching Insight Indonesia, brought to you by the Jakarta Globe. Stay with us.